Today for math, we worked on page 9 in the math book. We started on B section, which is rounding to the nearest hundred, and we rounded 174 to the nearest hundred. So on this number line, notice that they have a 0 as the start. Well, we know we're not looking there. We're looking from the 1 in the hundreds. So 174 is between 100 and 200. I don't know why they went all the way to 300. I feel it's so that they can say, oh, on a number line, it might go this far, but our focus is basically between 100 and 200. Then you would find, the middle ground, which would be 150, and that would be listed there. And then you would find 174, and we know that that's after 150. So that's marked. And then just looking at it, you can see that 174 is closest to 200. So it would round to 200. So on our paper, we wrote 174 is between 100 and 200. And 174 is closest to 200, closer to 200 than it is to 100. So 174 rounded to the nearest hundred is 200. So then you would flip your page. And when we flipped our page, let me see if I can get this without it teetering. We worked on page 10 at the top in this section. And this is also rounding, but this time our number is 718. So we are rounding 718. It starts, see how the 7 is still the same kind of pattern we did for the tens, but this time we're starting at 700. And the next 100 over is 800. They already marked the 750 for us. And we can go ahead and place 718 right after the 720, which is the second tick mark. So then we see once we've placed 718, it is closer to 700 than it is to the 800 all the way over here. So 718 rounds to 700. Okay. Another way, you don't have to use the number line. You can just, if you're a person who can look at the numbers and make a comparison on that tens digit to see, oh, is it going to be 5 or more? Because if it's 5 or more, you're going to bump it up, okay? If it's less than 5, then that means that number, the hundreds place is going to stay the same. And then all the rest of the numbers are going to be 0. So this says we're looking at the number 457. So rounded to the nearest 100. So it says think, the digit in the tens place tells if the number is closer to 400 or to 500. So we look at that tens place, it's a 5. So then we say, oh, is 5 greater than, less than, or equal to 5? And so we would know if we are going to be bumping it up. And turns out it's equal, right? 5 is equal to 5. So the hundreds digit is going to increase by 1. So we're going to write, instead of the 457, we're going to write 500 because the last two, all the zeros in the tens and ones place now become zeros. So that would be 500. We then flipped our page to page 11. We've already done the top portion. The page part that we were working on today is just simply rounding to the nearest hundred. So then I drew out the number lines. You don't have to draw out the number lines, but I did for you. So looking at 463, notice that on there, it's the 400, right? So that means it's going to be between 400. The next 100 over is 500. I know that in between is going to be 450, and then I can quickly locate and label 463 and seeing that it is in the right side closest to 500 than it is to 400. It's going to round to 500. So for number 8, 202, you would go ahead and complete that the same way. So I'm seeing the 2, so it's going to be between 200 and 300. And 202, that's really close to the 200, so it rounds to 200. For number 9, 658, so it's going to be between 600 and 700. and then 58 means it's past that 50 mark, 650, so it's going to round to 700. They did this today on your own. I did this top one with them. So see how they're extending this number line? I crossed it out because I want you to know that they're going to try to trick you. Your focus is basically looking at this number, looking at the 5. That's going to be your low, right? The 500 is your low. So that means the next 100 over is 600. So you would go ahead, find the 550, and then you would find 548. It's really close to the 550, but it's closest to 500. So 548 is between 500 and 600, but 548 is closer to the 500 than it is to the 600. So 548 rounded to the nearest 100 is 500. Okay, I also had them work on this today with me. We did round to the nearest 10 and 100. So the top one is for the rounding to the nearest 10. So if I'm rounding to the nearest 10, that means my 5 is going to stay. It's going to be 5. But now we're looking at just the 78 part, okay? So that's going to change. So then 76 part. And then 76, well, we can look here, and 76 is closer to 80 than it is to 70. So it's going to change to 580. Okay, now if we're looking at it and ignoring the underline on the 7 for right this moment, we're looking at the 500 and deciding, is this number as 100 is going to, if I was to round it, is it going to go 500 or 600? So then I place my 576 here on the number line past the 550, and notice that it is closest to 600. So 600 is what it's rounded to. So I'm going to have you today go ahead and complete number 14, number 15. Do the number line if it helps you. If it doesn't, and you know them off the bat, the top one is for your tens, the bottom one is for your hundreds, a rounding. Also, in Google Classroom, when you click on it today, so you go to Google Classroom. I'm going to pull this over so you can see. Okay, in your Google Classroom, you go to the Classwork tab and go down. I believe I put it in here. Did I not? I did not. Okay, so I'm going to add in, maybe I put it in the stream. Did I add it to the stream? No, I did not. Perhaps I added it to other people's. I'm going to go ahead and add in what's this? Nope, that's not it. I'm going to add in Brain Pop and Brain Pop today. Brain Pop Junior. So you'll go into Brain Pop Junior, and then our login is going to be BALT, B-A-L-T, and then C-O-P-S, and then the password is just Brain Pop, all one word, B-R-A-I-N-P-O-P, and then log in. And you're going to go to Number Sense, and you're going to rounding. So you go down,
even and round.
Click on rounding,
Hard.
and you're going to play this video. Okay, this is probably what you should do first, and you're going to watch the entire video. I know it's going to start out with some stuff that we've already done in class, but you're going to go ahead and watch the entire video because the second half is rounding to the nearest hundreds. And there's a little quiz at the end that you can practice. Yeah, and it's the easy quiz.
Easy quiz.
And I would suggest the easy quiz and see if you can do it. All right? Good luck. Let me know if you need any help. I'm available today, and then, of course, the rest of the week anytime you need me. All right. Good luck. Hope you feel better.